Texans Raiders in Mexico. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
That was the shortest cold opening I think I've ever done in my life.
I mean, straight to the point.
Yeah,
straight to the point, no chaser.
Yeah, right.
What can we say?
Monday Night Football in Mexico.
Monday Night Football in Mexico, still happening.
Yep, still happening. The game is still going on. We're not going to even call this an after show anymore. This is going to be the Monday Night Football during
in-between.
During show.
The in-between.
The in-between show. Right now it's 20-20, Texans and Raiders. It's starting to get very exciting in the fourth quarter. I thought the first half was a little slow, not too much offense going on. Texans with 2 turnovers. But let's start with that DeAndre Hopkins non-touchdown reception, which was clearly a touchdown. DeAndre hasn't been DeAndre all year, and a lot of people have, I guess, blamed Brock for it.
They haven't connected yet. I feel like I say that a lot, but clearly they haven't. We've had them before on Monday Night Football, the Texans, so that's probably why I've said that. They haven't developed a chemistry. Brock doesn't seem to know where DeAndre likes it on the field, kind of, or where he's going to run to.
That or just Brock is not that good. That's my theory.
There's that. His contract says he's great.
Yes. It does say he's great.
It says that he's worth a lot of money, and Denver was sad to lose him initially. A little bit.
Nah, since they didn't have anybody to replace him yet.
I mean, Super Bowl champion Brock Osweiler. So,
but I kind of want to get into the deeper issue. This was clearly a touchdown. He did not step out, in my mind at least. He didn't step out of bounds, and they're not able to challenge that. At least from my mind. Why are you not able to challenge that? Shouldn't they be able to go back to the tape and challenge it? I mean, since it was ruled a dead, basically, ball, they can't go back and assume that he scored the touchdown. Is there a way do you think you could fix that in the NFL? Or?
You want to tweak more rules in the NFL and make the game even longer?
Yes, not even longer, but that should have been a touchdown. It should have been 7-0 Texans. I mean, I think they look like the better team right now, even though I don't think they are the better team. In this game specifically, they look like the better team. And they could have got off to a 7-0 start instead of a 3-0
The ball
start.
is stopped so much now in the NFL, don't you think? Challenges, like looking back at film. I mean, and they're still having problems getting it right. So do you think that situations like this come up enough for them to re-examine the rule?
Yes.
Yes, you think it's worthwhile?
I do, because that just cost the Texans. I mean, they ended up scoring a field goal on that first drive, but that cost the Texans 4 points, essentially, because the 3 they got minus the 7 they didn't get. I don't know.
Do you think we're going to get one of those memos and an apology issued tomorrow about it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We absolutely will. The first half to me was kind of, I expected the Raiders to come out here and absolutely destroy them. I know last week I predicted the Raiders win big. Derek Carr's having an MVP season, but
it's still a short week.
It's a short week, and the elevation.
Yeah,
of Mexico,
and the elevation.
Yeah, they are 7,382 feet above sea level.
With an enormous walk from the locker room to the field. Their locker rooms are actually outside of the stadium, the way that they're set up, and they had to go uphill after halftime. Oxygen on deck. Yeah. So, I mean, I think all that is going to have a factor, right?
Don't you think? I guess. Maybe. But, I mean...
They're professionals.
I thought they would run the ball better. Latavius Murray, Richard did not... They got nothing going. The Raiders' offense seemed to be stifled in the first half, and that surprised me, even early in the second half, which I'll get to in a little bit. Like I said, I expected the Raiders to come out here and really, put a whipping on. Yeah. They forced 2 Texan turnovers in the first half, and they only turned that into... Well, they turned 1 turnover into 3 points. They only left the first half with 10 points, 10-10 game. And I don't know, it's just kind of surprising. I think we bash the Texans a lot on this Monday Night Football show. So maybe...
They've started to kind of pull it together slowly, no thanks to Brock, but it seems like, for example, I always mess up his name.
You say Clowney.
Clowney, there you go. You have to think this is his 3rd season. He's only played, a total of 15 games in his first 2 seasons, so he seems like he's starting to sort of finally get in the groove and move past his injury history and work for them, especially with JJ.
Yeah, JJ, I was about to say that. I was like, JJ Watt's out, so now he, in a way, he's kind of more flexible. He can do different things, and JJ Watt's not so much dominating and, I guess, maybe beating him to the quarterback.
It opens the field up for him to do what he did. So that's a good point. Is it something that maybe you need to look to moving Clowney at some point because JJ is obviously the star and the attraction, and he holds down their defense. And if he can't operate within it, because when he was out there, when they were out there together, he didn't look good.
Right.
So
He didn't look like the first.
the number
draft.
one pick in the draft,
Yeah.
but he looked pretty. He's as of late, he's looked pretty decent. Like he's starting to come on. So
Yeah. And, oh, wow. Touchdown Raiders. Look at that.
I am so proud of the Raiders. Raider Nation stand
Amari
up.
Cooper, 35-yard touchdown.
Amari Cooper has been amazing, but Derek Carr to Michael Crabtree. has been clutch.
MVP. You think he's the MVP? You think
Derek, it's Derek, Dak. You guys, Guy, Brady.
I think Dak's the
obviously.
rookie of the year. I know we got into this before, but go ahead. Brady, yeah.
And Cardinals. Right, but but they were terrible now. He's kind of fell off.
I think you have to throw Matthew Stafford in there. I really do.
Do you?
Yes, first place Lions. I mean, he's led a couple fourth quarter comebacks. I think you have to throw him
And
in
it's
there.
wide open for the Lions. After this weekend, the Lions really could, come out on top.
Yeah. So I think I'm not saying he's the number one candidate, but I do think he's in the conversation right now. Matt Ryan is another one for the Falcons.
Okay.
He's a very popular pick. All right. Well, let's continue to talk about the game. 10-10 at halftime, and was it the first play from scrimmage? I'm not sure it was the first play from scrimmage. Carr just yeah, it was the first play from scrimmage. Just basically throws it downfield, chucks it up, interception. Texans. I don't really know what was going on with David in that moment, but
Are you David or Derek?
David Carr. David Carr.
I just confused myself. I'm getting him confused with his brother. I'm getting him confused with his brother. Remember, his brother used to play for the Texans.
Wow,
So
it's Derek Carr. Yeah,
yeah.
David Carr.
So David used to play for the Texans.
Texans, yep.
Okay, so that's why I'm like, wait. All
All
right,
you're right, Derek Carr. Wow, I apologize to all the people out there who are listening. But yeah, he throws an interception. I'm starting to think, all right, you know what? I don't think the Raiders are going to win this game.
They've only been in Mexico City less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
They, to adjust. There's something about the shorter time that they're there. The second day,
Yeah.
the oxygen change hits you harder, so it was better for them to get in and get out. I think even though they're just coming from the Bay, that's like a 3-hour flight,
Yeah.
elevated oxygen. Maybe it's just, travel fatigue.
I don't know. It was a dumb mistake. He
Sloppy.
just chucked it up there, and then the Texans come down. I think they scored a touchdown. Was it a touchdown? It was a touchdown. Yeah, Lamar Miller.
Texans
Off of a pass
secondary
interference
has
in the-
been, hasn't really been doing a whole lot of damage
Right.
on QBs this season. Actually, I was looking at a pretty interesting stat that I just lost about their secondary. They have allowed 27.2 points per game and 312 yards per game through their first 6
outta
contests.
here.
So,
Really?
yeah.
Their overall defense is good, though.
It is,
Yeah.
but for some reason,
I didn't know that. That's a good stat. It's a good stat you pulled.
yeah. So, I'm sorry, that's Oakland secondary, not the Texans. My bad.
okay,
my
okay.
bad.
Yeah,
Okay, I was
that's what I'm
reading
thinking, 'cause I
backwards.
think the
I'm like,
Texans
no,
have
no,
the
no, no.
fourth-ranked
Yeah,
defense
they
in
do.
the
No,
league.
that's Oakland secondary. So
Okay.
never mind. Let's run that back.
but the
for
Raiders, but the
yeah.
Raiders defense has been disappointing this year. I thought they were going to be a very good defense
Yes,
this year.
it's really been their offense, which is
Right.
such a reverse from what's happening in the league and the trend in the league, where
Right.
it's been very defensive, carried, and
Right.
if you were lucky if your offense can bounce back and.
It actually shocked me how steady Brock looks today. Brock looks like a good quarterback today. I mean, he had an interception. He turned the ball over, but he looks steady. He's hitting his receivers. There's a lot of drops today. I don't know if you noticed, but there's been a lot of drops.
That's probably attributed to the altitude change.
Could be.
Realistically,
Could be.
arms thing. Maybe it's just time. Like really, maybe he's settled in now. Like I said, their offenses look more together, more set over the
Yeah.
past couple of games. So maybe it's just that he's a slow adjuster.
Even without DeAndre really coming on, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
After the Lamar Miller touchdown to make it 17-10 Texans, Raiders come down, they get a field goal, and they're kind of hanging in there. Like I think the Texans clearly look like the better team today.
They did.
The game's not over yet. It's only a 7-point game. But, you allow a team to hang around, and all of a sudden they're in striking distance, just like we're about to see. Texans come back, they score a field goal 20-13, and then the next play from scrimmage, Derek Carr, 75-yard touchdown pass, and the game gets flipped on its head.
Just like that.
Just like that.
So quick. Now we'll see what they're made of. This is a good test for the Raiders.
Right.
As we're getting closer to making our way towards the playoffs, and fatigue has got to be settling in because they're really a young team. So let's see if they can march back and hold on.
Well, they're winning right now 27-20 because the Texans went on a 4th and 1. I think they got a bad spot because we came into the studio after that. thinking that they got the first down. And then we check our phones on the update and we're like, wow, they didn't get that?
Right, like what's happening?
That's crazy. And then the Raiders obviously just marched right down the field, scored a touchdown to Amari Cooper, 27-20. I think this is actually a good test for Brock. Let's see if Brock can march the Texans down the field against a first-place team in a huge game. This is a huge game for the Texans, too.
It really is, because after this, who do they face? They have the Chargers, Green Bay, who's terrible, Indy, who might be coming on, Jacksonville, which they'll take care of, the Bengals, and then Tennessee, who has been looking good lately. So, but they're number one right now in the NFC South?
Yeah.
AFC South.
AFC South.
It's one of those nights, people. Bear with me. Bear with me.
We rushed in the studio like after watching the game, but
We're trying to,
we're trying to, like...
So, I mean, they're really all by themselves, so they just have to pace themselves to keep up for the playoffs.
They literally just have to be average, and they can win that division. Andrew Luck's not going to play on Thursday. I don't know if you know, but he has a concussion.
Oh.
Well, he's doubtful.
Doubtful?
They don't think he's going to clear protocol by Thursday. So, I mean, I guess it's safe to assume the Steelers win the game. You don't. I guess in this league you don't really want to assume anything, but you know the Titans just took an L to the Colts. So
yeah, which was surprising. I really didn't expect that.
I mean, so let's see if Brock can lead them. Right now it's 2nd and 5 at the 44. We're gonna keep you guys updated. Until then, I actually want to show you a couple pictures because you know how they're playing in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
All right. So they had an artist draw helmets of each NFL team.
Okay.
And we'll start with the Texans helmet. Do you see that right there?
What is that?
Does that look like a Houston Texans helmet to you?
The colors do. I mean, there's red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
And it looks like veins.
If anybody who's watching knows Mexican art, I would love for you to explain to us in the comments section because I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just don't understand it. So I wonder what the
what's
motivation
on
was
top?
behind that.
I don't know. Maybe it's based on something historical. We're going to say that.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Maybe it's like, maybe it's some interpretation of the bull.
Maybe. We'll see. Anybody who's lilistening,
You have that information
on
for us?
iTunes or if you're watching on YouTube, comment, let us know. That is the Oakland Raiders helmet.
It looks like from a Popeye cartoon or like one of those 1930s cartoons. The black and white cartoons really does.
So that's the artist. His I guess that's what he thinks a Raider is. Is that what I really can't see.
Maybe that could be like a pirate-esque guy right there.
I
Looks
think
like
that's pretty cool. It's very
missing an eye.
cartoony, but
I like it though. I like that
would you
kind
look
of
at that and
throwback.
say, "Hey, that's Mexican"?
No.
No, neither would
No,
I.
I would just be like, that's some cool art.
That's it. Yeah. Same.
I don't know if I would
Same.
attach it to any.
I got the Rams one for you right there.
I appreciate the Rams. So is that looks like?
It just looks like someone threw paint on a helmet, right?
They look like centaurs to me. Is that what they're called? Where it's like
That
half
looks like
man?
a cave painting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It does look
like
a cave
hieroglyphics and stuff. One of them, though, I'm telling you, I see horns in a man. Reminds me of like, isn't that what they're called when they're half man, half
Yes, it's
beast?
called a centaur.
Okay, see, look who paid attention
right.
in history.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. And the next one and final one is my New York Giants, where you can see the skyscraper.
That's I like that, and the
I like
stars
that
and
one,
the
too.
I love New York. That's cool.
Yeah, I like that
That's
one too.
cool. I like that.
So, what was your overall, feelings about those helmets? I had mixed feelings. Like some of them were really cool, and some of them I was like, what is this?
I mean, I'm just gonna say that some of that art might be too advanced for my palate. I might not be ready for it yet. How about that? It's just too advanced, but it was nice. I appreciate it. I appreciate the artistic
Okay.
endeavor.
Yeah, I appreciate it too.
There you go.
All right, before we get into news and gossip, just a quick update. Texans punted. Raiders have the ball, 2nd and 7 on the 23, with less than 3 minutes left. So
Okay, outcome. What do you think's gonna happen?
I think that the Texans will stop them. Raiders punt, and Brock fails to score a game-time touchdown.
Wow.
Is that what you think?
I don't know because I didn't expect to be here going down to the wire based off of I know I'm choking. Sorry. This is an interesting night tonight, just because the game didn't kind of go down how I expected.
Yeah.
And especially before we came in here, I really thought, like most weeks, that it would be determined before we walked in the door. And I thought the Raiders had the momentum going
So did I.
into the matchup.
Well, they're winning
so
right
I
now.
didn't think that they would struggle. Well, yeah. But your scenario is very hero-esque.
Well, no, it's not hero-esque because I think he's gonna fail. I think he's gonna fail.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. You don't think? Oh, you think it's
I
going to
think-
come down to
yeah.
that, but that he's going to. Oh,
Yeah.
that's different. Why don't you believe in him?
I just don't believe in Brock. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback.
You don't think that he can make a
Listen,
comeback?
DeAndre Hopkins had 4 different quarterbacks last year, and he killed it all of last year. There's no reason not to utilize DeAndre Hopkins whatsoever. He should be killing it with DeAndre and the running game that he has in Lamar Miller. There's no reason. He has the weapons.
So so you think it's just that he's
I think it's him.
inaccurate, or do you think he just doesn't fit within the offense?
I don't think he's that good. Period.
Okay. So you think he just fool's
I
gold
don't
last
think he's
year?
bad. I think he's a solid backup quarterback. That's what I think he is.
Okay.
What do you think of him?
I think that it's interesting that the Texans gave him that much money. I really don't understand it. Is it just because, hey, he played on the Super Bowl team behind Peyton? Like, I really just kind of don't understand that. But
well, to be fair to Brock, he did help the Broncos win the Super Bowl last year. Even
He
though he didn't
did.
play in the playoffs, the fact that he was able to, hold the ship steady during the regular season and win some games and play decent during those games.
He did. He
is
kept
the reason
them
why
alive,
he got
yeah.
the contract. He does deserve credit for that. He does. All right, so Jill, hit us with some news and gossip.
let's see. There we go.
Nice.
Waiting for music. So let's start off with kudos to the NFC East. They are the only division where every team is currently above 500.
Let's go.
That includes your Giants.
Let's go.
You ready? And can we just really quick, did
Yeah.
you see what Washington did to Green Bay yesterday?
You know-
What have I been saying?
You've been so right about the Packers. It's crazy how right you've been about the Packers. And someone else, there's some other team too that the Vikings. That's another
Vikings,
team.
those two. I just knew. The crazy thing is that, just found out this weekend actually that Aaron Rodgers has been estranged from his family for the past
heard that
2
too,
years.
yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with, his mind is elsewhere. We don't know. Obviously, the coach isn't connecting to the players at all.
Yeah.
At all. There's no way you can have a loss like that to a team like Washington.
Well, they're not that
And
bad.
well, Washington's not that bad, but I guess I feel like the last 3 losses for Green Bay, just when you couple them all up together, looks really bad.
Especially because you would assume they're better than all 3 teams that they lost to.
A lot better.
Yeah, and I also hear rumblings, and this is very gossipy, that players are sick and tired of Aaron Rodgers and his condescending attitude. A lot of players find him condescending and hard to deal with.
I mean, that if you lose your team as the quarterback, that's the position of respect. That's your
Right.
guidance. That sets the tone for the team. So if your team is not feeling a connection to you or feeling like you don't value them, of course they're going to start tuning you out.
Right.
So that's pretty interesting. We also have to shout out Jalen Ramsey of the Jaguars.
Jalen.
I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday on the
Jalen.
bench. He was so upset about the loss. The Lions beat them 26-19. He was on the bench having a bit of not a tissy fit in that we're mad at him. We like to see this type of passion in
Right.
sports. It sucks that he's stuck playing on a team like the Jaguars that aren't going anyplace and aren't going anyplace for a while. And he obviously wants to play and obviously cares about losing.
Yeah.
And that impacts talent because, Jalen's somebody you picture kind of doing a little something out there.
I think he's just sick and tired of seeing Blake Bortles throw pick sixes every day.
I think
every
everybody
Sunday.
is. Are there any Jacksonville fans out there? Are you guys out there?
Hey,
You out
Jaguar
there?
fans, vent to us. I know
Vent to
Blake
us,
has
sure.
been terrible. Blake has been very terrible.
I know you have
Vent
something to
us.
say. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We talked about this briefly. Jay Cutler of the Bears might be done for the season again.
Surprise.
Shoulder injury. This would be his second injury of the season. Remember, he missed 5 games in September and October with a sprained thumb. The problem is that the Bears have already lost quarterbacks. Connor Shaw has a broken leg. Brian Hoyer, broken arm. So, Matt Barkley, you could be up next.
Get out of here.
Yep.
That's
That's the lone one that's left.
That is not a good look for the Bears.
Right.
I don't
But
even
their
think-
season's over anyway, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, their season's over. Period. Shut down. What more can you do?
Yeah.
What's happening in the game? Are we
Right now, I don't know how. 4th and 1 for the Raiders from the 39. less than a minute left. So they're trying to run out the clock. I don't know if they're going to go for it here or maybe kick a field goal or punt it. And
They got this.
Yeah, it's over.
Raiders have another win.
Yeah. But let's not make it official yet.
Let's not make it
I'm going to throw
official.
some stats out there for you guys.
Let's
Derek Carr, 21 of 31, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. That's way better than what he had at halftime. I don't remember the exact stats, but I remember looking at his numbers like, damn, he's not doing anything. But he actually
turned it on.
He turned it on.
Fourth quarter shorty.
Brock Osweiler, who looks like he might get a chance again, so this is incomplete. But a 26 for 39, 243 yards, a touchdown, interception. That's not bad at all.
Go ahead, Brock. Earn your money. Earn your dough.
He has to earn his money by getting the Texans a win tonight, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean,
No, the Texans need to win in the playoffs.
Good point.
They need to win in the play. I mean, because as you just said, they're gonna win this division more than likely. It's pretty sad right now. I mean,
I know Mike's very high in the Titans. They just took a very big loss to Indianapolis, though.
a beat down.
Yeah. I mean, out of all the teams I wouldn't want to face in that division, I don't know if it's the Titans or Colts because I just wouldn't want to face Andrew Luck, even though that line's terrible and he's always
Because you feel like they could just turn it around.
just because it's Andrew
time.
Luck. I think Andrew Luck is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I wouldn't want to face that. I'd much rather face a Brock Osweiler.
Yeah.
Mariota looks scary though, and then DeMarco with that run game.
DeMarco's run game is always going to,
Right. Right.
keep you going. So.
And then Lamar Miller, 24 attempts, 104 yards, and a touchdown for my fantasy team.
Whoop,
Thanks,
whoop.
Lamar. Thank you. And then we have not much on the running game for the Raiders. Latavius Murray is a leading rusher with 27 yards. So they're doing all this without running the football very well.
Well, I mean that's because Derek has his targets. He's
MVP.
We'll see.
You think so?
I don't.
No.
Here's the thing. He is sort of low key. I just, root for the underdog. I feel like he has a very good shot.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just don't think that he'll make it.
Okay. You want to go through, what is this, Week 11? Week 11 roundup really quick?
Sure, let's go.
A sentence or two about maybe the games that we saw over this weekend?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
hit it.
So Panthers, 23-20 over the Saints.
The Panthers are coming on, and that is a team that I was wrong about. Maybe.
Okay, because I think they're done.
You think they're done?
Yeah, I think they're done.
See, now we're switching. I thought last week I was
I always thought they were done. I think Mike was the one who.
Okay, was it Mike? Okay.
Yeah.
I really feel, but they looked okay at points. There's certain things where you're like, oh, maybe they can. There's still time for them to catch up and
Cam
maybe get in there.
Cam didn't look good to me.
Cam hasn't looked good all season to me.
True. All right, well let's move on. Bills 16, Bengals 12, and they lose AJ Green. That
big.
hurts.
That's
Season
huge.
over.
It's a wrap.
Over. Well, I thought it was over when they lost to the Giants last Monday, but I'm officially declaring the Cincinnati Bengals season over.
Done.
Pittsburgh Steelers 24-9 over the Cleveland Browns, who remain winless. I saw a stat that showed that Ben Roethlisberger has the same amount of wins, which is 10. I'm gonna mess up the stats. I'm not gonna say it, but put it this way: he has a lot more wins than recent Cleveland quarterbacks do at home.
Cleveland
which
are
is crazy.
done. I mean, if they go 0-16,
I think they might. I said they wouldn't, but
I think that they're going to. It's starting to look like it.
I don't know. They play the Giants next week, and I'm scared.
You think that's a trap game? You think that's the game that they're gonna drop?
Oh, I think it is.
And then you feel really bad
listen,
because it's
I
your
think the
team.
Giants are gonna win, but it's such a
You could
Giants
see
move.
it?
Oh, absolutely. Dallas 27-17.
Dallas is rolling.
I thought this was a game that they could have got snuck up on and lost. To be honest with you,
You did say that, and
I was like,
it looked shaky, but I mean, Dak is impressive.
Like I said before, I think he's the rookie of the year. I mean, I get Zeke is the better talent, and he might have the better numbers.
I mean, he set records. Didn't he break Tony Dorsett's record in the game? Was it last week or yesterday?
I just think you have to give it to the quarterback of the team. I don't, I mean, last year they had Weeden, and I forgot who else was running the team. Was Hoyer on the Cowboys? Someone else on the Cowboys last year, and they weren't doing anything. I think it's a testament to how good Dak is that they're 9-1.
I mean, you think about it. Was it mostly the same offensive O-line last year? Because when Romo was out, what was their record last season?
Right.
1-11 at this point. Same line. And now with Romo out,
yeah. And I
they're
get
on
Zeke,
this amazing
but
streak.
Alfred Morris, could I'm not saying he could run just better than Zeke, but he can be very serviceable. last year McFadden was very serviceable. So I don't think
when he was on the field.
I don't think they're winning because of the run game. I think they're winning because of the line, but also because of the quarterback play. I really
because
think,
they have options.
yeah,
They
and
can
you
cook-
didn't have Dez for half of the season.
True.
So it's
But I feel like even a few moments, but even really, Dez hasn't really been a great part of their success.
Exactly.
This season.
I mean, he had 2 touchdowns.
I mean, he's part. I mean, I'm not trying to dismiss
you're
him,
exactly
you know what
right.
I'm saying?
That's what makes it more impressive to me. That's what I'm saying. Like that makes Dak's play even more impressive to me.
So Dak is rookie of the year, but not MVP.
No, not MVP, but he gets rookie of the year for me. He does.
Okay.
He gets my vote at least. I know I'm in the minority in that, but I'll take it. Lions 26-19, making Jalen Ramsey cry.
I mean, the
Poor
Lions
Jalen.
have come on, and I usually a excuse me, a perennial downer of the Lions.
Everyone is here.
You know, it seems like there was a couple of a season and a half ago where they were like right there and then they just dropped off.
When they lost to the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, for me, I'm watching with curiosity to see what happens. You know, I feel like the Lions haven't been good since Barry Sanders. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
All right. Colts 24-17 over the Titans.
Surprise win.
Yeah, I mean, they were home, but we thought the Titans were a better team and that they were ready to take the step forward into being, division contenders, I guess.
And ready to, just to step up overall. We talked about. Sorry, guys. It's a lot going on.
Get this, Jill. You got this. Fight through.
Fight through the cough. Fight through it. Okay. So we talked about the Titans. We talked about how Mariota stepped up, how they could take over that division. And the Colts have been kind of a mess this season.
Yes.
And when they rose up, it's just been like very middle of the road. Nothing,
Right.
Very pedestrian. Nothing stand out about it. I mean, Andrew Luck is who he is, but we haven't really seen anything from them. They have some injuries, so didn't really expect them to take over that game like that. And it was a high-scoring game.
Yeah, well, they scored 21 answer points to start the game, and then it was just too much for the Titans to come back from. Tampa Bay beats the Kansas City Chiefs 19-17. This
Now,
was huge.
that I didn't expect.
Not at all, because I think I was gonna pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win the AFC West. I actually did pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win the AFC West, and now it's official. The Raiders won 27-20.
Ooh.
So the Raiders just
Raider
gained-
Nation, stand up.
they
Just win,
just-
baby.
took sole possession of first place in the AFC West.
I mean, I'm really excited for them because how long has it been for Raiders fans? It's a great send-off to Las Vegas for
Yeah.
all you Oakland Raiders fans because we're at the last hurrah. They're headed there.
Yeah, maybe they win the Super Bowl and then bounce.
Give you a nice lasting memory, something
Yeah.
you can think about. I mean, look, so what do you think happens with Denver? I know we talked about this
Okay.
a little bit. Do you think that Denver is going to make that wild card spot, or where do you think they're going to shake out?
I would have to look at the standings right now. I think they're the third best team.
They are 7-3. Yep, they're just San Diego's the only one before them. Kansas City is at 7-3, ahead of them.
You have New England, Oakland. These are the division leaders right now.
Right. Oh, okay. Right. I'm sorry. I'm in the
Okay.
AFC West.
New England, Oakland, Houston, Baltimore, and then you have Kansas City and Denver for 2 wild card spots right now. Miami 6-4. Yeah, I think they're gonna get the.
You think they're gonna make it?
Yeah.
Because Mike doesn't think that they're gonna make it to the.
Who's gonna take it? Them? Because he thinks his Dolphins are gonna come.
Yeah, I
come
mean,
on.
not that I don't want to even discuss the Dolphins' win yesterday over the Rams. That was pretty heartbreaking. How Ryan Tannehill just
2 touchdowns in
turned it on to the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter
Yeah.
or whatever that was. It's
14-10. That's terrible.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Mike's overrating his team a little bit. I don't think they're better than the Broncos. I mean, I have to look at their schedule though, because he's saying they play in a weaker division. They have the Jets
They could
again.
have it. Yeah.
So he does make a case there, but the Steelers are 5-5, which is shocking to me. I thought they would be winning that division. So
But they've had some injury things. Roethlisberger went down, even though he came back.
Yeah.
He kind of came
Yeah.
back too soon.
they can still make the playoffs. They just have to win the division because
Yeah.
the second place team in that division is not going to get in the playoffs. So it's going to be either them or the Ravens. Yeah, I don't really see anyone else being that serious. The Colts are 5-5. Buffalo's 5-5. I don't see. Yeah, I think Denver makes it. I do.
Okay.
I don't think they're that good though. I think they lose their first game.
Oh, so they're one and done out. Like it's just a for show win.
Actually, I take that back because Oakland and New England would have buys, and it's right now it'd be the Texans and the Ravens that they would play, either or. They would play the Texans at the playoffs start today. So I would take them over the Texans. I can't even say they'd be one and done.
Because
They're not going past the second round.
they're not going past the second round for
Yeah.
sure. So, okay, for Thursday's matchup, the big, Thanksgiving rivalry games.
Yeah.
Who do you have?
All right, so we have the Vikings and Lions,
Yeah.
right?
Vikings came alive yesterday. They shocked me. I didn't think they were going to
I'm going with the Lions. I've been talking about the Vikings all year, how I believe in them, and I think you're starting to convince me, even though they beat the Cardinals last week.
They did. Cardinals have been so up and down all season.
It wasn't
disappointment.
pretty. It wasn't pretty. And I'm actually taking the Lions strictly just because they're home, honestly. But I like the Lions in that one. And then who else we have? We have the
Cowboys and
Redskins.
Redskins. Yep, that's going to be a good game.
Dallas.
Taking Dallas.
Yeah. What about you?
You're not impressed with Washington's late
I
surge?
am. I just
a
think
little
Dallas
bit?
is better.
I mean, Dallas is clearly better. I would be really sad if they lost on Thanksgiving. I would be sad for them. I think not a momentum killer, but then I think the whole conversation would start stirring again. Well, depending upon what happens in the game, but we're gonna get Romo in for a couple of snaps. Are we saving him for the play? Because obviously he wants to play, and then the streak isn't still there to kind of hold up as why they can't ease in.
Yeah.
A little bit of change.
And then we have the Colts and Steelers.
Yes.
And I go in with the Steelers running away if Andrew Luck doesn't play.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
But if Andrew Luck does play, still going with the Steelers.
Are you?
Yeah.
I think it could be a close game because I think both of those
It'll
teams
be fun.
are kinda,
That's gonna be a fun game if Andrew Luck
Yeah.
plays. Definitely gonna be a fun game. All right, well, that's our time. Oakland Raiders defeat the Houston Texans 27-20 on Monday Night Football in Mexico.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving. So let's introduce. We didn't introduce ourselves. That's my fault. But let's.
We did we? No, we didn't. I'm Jill Munroe at Stiletto Jill. JacksonStilettoJill.com is my website. You can check that out for all your sports and pop
Packers
culture
Jets
gossip.
next Monday. Who you got?
Oh God, Jets.
Really?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_. And even though there's a lot of turmoil in Green Bay, I'm going with the Packers. Guys, thanks for watching. Have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're listening to us on iTunes, 5 stars. Watching us on YouTube, thumbs up. And we'll see you next week. Take care.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.